Hey, my friends, welcome to the Dallas Daily Show podcast. So excited for you to join me today. We are talking this week about dog training and what I've learned from it. So, this is part one today, consistency. Let's get into the conversation. All right, my friends. So, this whole week we're going to be talking about these idea of lessons I've learned from dog training. We got a dog not quite 2 months ago now, right at 2 months ago, and she's fantastic. She's a little corgi-poodle mix. I'm actually going to probably put her image on the episode artwork so you can see her and just see how cute she is. She's so doggone cute. And I've never had a dog before in 46 years of life. Never had a dog. So this is the first pet that I ever had. Which there's a whole thing to that story, which could probably be unpacked in episodes. But my mom and my sister was very allergic to dogs growing up. All of us were allergic to cats, so we just never had pets growing up. And then when my wife and I lived in Los Angeles, a lot of the places that we lived had no pet policies, so we just never had any. But the boys have been wanting one, so we got Pepper. She's great. However, she's a wild animal, right? And so we've had to take her to dog training, which, let's be honest, as some friends of mine told me, and I found out recently, dog training is not actually dog training. It's actually training the people to be able to communicate with the dogs. Because one of the things we learned is dogs don't know English. That makes perfect sense. So when I'm sitting here talking to you like this, they're sitting there hearing, Pepper, Pepper, because all she had to learn first was her name. So we have been taking these trainings. They've been amazing. And one of the first things that we were told by the trainer is that consistency is one of the big keys, right? That repetition, that consistency. When you have my wife and three sons, and you have me, when we have five people in a house and we're giving five different messages to one dog, what do we think is going to happen? Pepper, pepper, pepper. Like it's going to. That was an impression of a son, not a wife. Would you like to hear my wife's dog impression? Pepper, pepper. She's going to listen to that later, and I'm in so much trouble. Oh my goodness. So what happens when five people are given five different messages to one dog? It's going to be confusion. It's going to be chaos. It's going to be all of these things. And as we're talking about this whole week, there is a training effect that happens. And yes, it happens for animals, but we're going to see it happens for us as humans as well. It's the repetition is important. The relationships are great for accountability and acceleration in our lives. And then the results are ultimately because of the training that we do. Practice, consistency, development for others, development for ourselves, whether it's in business or in life. Consistency is just a leadership lesson. It's a leadership, it's a leadership language, right? So we've been training our dog and we were all using different commands. My wife was using like, let's go, Pepper. And I was saying, come on, girl. And we were saying all of these different things and we were giving different messages to one dog. And what we found out from the trainer is no. You all have to get on the same page. We're going to have to use the same words. We're going to have to use the same tone. Dogs read body language. So you're going to have to know how to approach her. You're going to have to be able to read her body language. She's sending you signals. And if you don't know how to read them, you're going to ignore them and you're going to wound her temporarily, right? But also the same thing is you guys are going to go, man, why does she never respond to me versus my wife? Why does she never respond to one of my sons versus one of the other ones, right? So we're undoing each other's work. Sounds a lot like our relationships. Again, whether in leadership or just in general, right? Inconsistency will breed uncertainty. Inconsistency will breed uncertainty. So whether that's with your team, right? Whether it's with your clients, whether it's with even referral partners. Later this week on our midweek mind shift episode, we've got a conversation with the referral diva herself, Virginia Muskies. You're going to love that combo because we just jump right into it, y'all. But it can breed inconsistency and uncertainty. But what we're going to learn is clarity will always become confidence. Clarity is always going to become confidence. So As we become more clear, and tomorrow in the conversation, we're going to stick with simplicity. Today is about consistency, tomorrow, simplicity. But as we become clear and as we become consistent across the board, even let's take my family and team off of it. What about me? What about the messages I'm sending to you? If I'm inconsistent in my language, you're never going to know which version of Dallas is going to show up. If some days I'm really hot and other days I'm really like jovial and demure and doing the thing, right? And you're going to go, boy, I just don't know what to expect from that guy. Consistency is helpful for you as well. Me showing up as my best self in all the situations is good, and that's a leadership principle. But also, how are you showing up for yourself? Are you being consistent in your language of who future you wants to become? See, consistency is amazing, right? We you guys have heard me say this phrase before. I say it a lot on the Mind Shift calls. It's a quote that I wrote down a few years ago, actually for the Power Playbook that I did with clients at the time, because people would get motivated, they'd get inspired, they'd get out the gate really quickly, but then they would fall into the drift, right? They would fall into those things. But the quote I used to say is, motivation will excite you. Inspiration will ignite you. But it is a commitment to consistency that ultimately will transform you. See, often we're sending ourselves mixed signals. We are being inconsistent in what we're saying. Some days we're saying things to our present self. Some days we're talking bad about our past self. Other days we're trying to anchor to our future self. But the language between all of them is inconsistent. And if so, our subconscious is going to be uncertain, just like with Pepper, right? And just like with my family. So I want you to start thinking, where in my life am I sending inconsistent messages not only to the world around me, but where am I sending inconsistent messages to my future self? Because if you can get on the same page as you in old age, boom, you have gone and set the stage. See what I did? I rhymed all of it just for you, my friend. Be consistent in your language. Be consistent in the message that you are sending yourselves, and you will indeed accelerate and excel. And everyone around you is going to be very clear about how amazing you actually are, because you're no longer breeding uncertainty. Now you are going into the world with consistency, the way you talk to yourself and the way you talk to the world around you. So just challenge your thoughts today. Where am I being inconsistent in my message to others? And where am I being inconsistent in my message to myself? And if neither of those are anchored to future you, you should definitely check out the training we've got, futureyou5day.com. It's a 5-day training, future you, the number 5day.com, futureyou5day.com. Get consistent, get the results you want, my friend, and get out there and have a championship day.
Thanks for listening to my dad's podcast. For more tools, go to dallasdailyshow.com. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.